should welcome your faces back to the last home and away edition of Selection Table. There'll be another one next week when we play finals. I'm joined, it's OG week. OG, the original gangsters, and the most original of all the gangsters is the Lecketh of the Doggeth in new backgrounds, but same quality takes. Paolo will join us in just a minute, but good day to you, Mr. Leckdog. How are thou, brethren?
I'm well, Pommy. Excited to talk teams. Hopefully we probably don't have as many question marks this week as we did last week. And yes, you're right. I am in a new office, and at some stage, I'll get the background going. I'll move all the Carlton shit across, but new office and feeling good. A bit more space to operate in.
Mate, look. You white walls, you know how I feel. But yeah, mate, you look good, man. Look, there's a novelty fucking plant pot behind you. Yep. Hey, look at that.
A Roomba.
Hey. Right.
Yeah. No, see, all this was actually in the last room. It just wasn't visible. So I got a lot of shit that I don't need, but we'll add to it in here soon. But, you know, I can roll back. I've got plenty of room. If I need to get vocal, if I need to get action-packed, there's plenty of room.
There's so much space for fucking activities.
You know, exactly.
But like Dog, obviously, and as you all filter in chat, you're all being very kind. Good day to you. Obviously, the maths, you are a man of maths like me. I'm like our numbers. Maths pretty simple this weekend, eh? Win.
Win and you're in. Win and you're in. I wouldn't even think of any other options internally. It's just win the fucking game. It's a game we should win. I've got a horrible history of going to St Kilda games where they beat us either by a lot or in important games. And I'm actually still salty about Zach Williams getting suspended in his first preseason game against them as well for us. Just win. Just win the game. I have some. It's not going to be as easy as last week. Last week, I think our maturity, experience, size of body in the midfield showed up, whereas you can't just rely on that against St Kilda. But, you know, just win the game.
Mate, shout out to my boy Faz, 140 11-year-olds. Nah, he's not round fucking Jimmy Savile's house. He's a teacher, so he's looking after the future generation. So shout out to you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. But, I mean, I agree, like Dog. And obviously we had a lot of babies in the team last week. So we'll start off. Paolo is in chat. He's just saying that he's on his way. We've got a couple of excursions this week as well. Mr. What's he called? Ian is currently doing in-law duty. So we know what that is. But this was the team that Pom went with. So as you'll see on your screens, I went bold. Sard and Kerno come in. Mitch McGovern and Durden miss out. I'm just preempting the test is bad. I reckon that this might be, in my opinion, you've got to treat this test like early noughties test from the WWE. No one really cares about him apart from he's the on-screen boyfriend of Stephanie McMahon. So I've tried to err on the side of caution. I really like what we saw last week as well from the new boys, so I didn't want to drop them. I thought Jackson Binns, big shout out him. He kept his width, which allowed Carlton to spread. And I really enjoyed someone playing the Matt Cottrell role that isn't Matt Cottrell. Still forward, I've gone Brodie Kemp. Massive game at the weekend. I want to see Charlie Curnow work with him. Interesting little factoid for you. In games Charlie Curnow's played without Harry under Michael Voss, an average 101 points. So make of that what you will. Mitch McGovern, obviously, I watched his last three games, and honestly, I just don't get it. I want to keep Whittaker in centre-half back. I want to put young fullback. I really like that combination. Something you and me have talked about till we're boring.
Ad nauseam.
Really. Isn't it? Play Whittaker in centre-half back.
Yeah. Just do it.
Really and then when you look at St Kilda's makeup, 4 toes just doesn't sit right with me, because we've got to count McGovern and Cowan as toes, because Cowan fabricate medium size. So I want Cowan to have that loose role. Feel like he's done really well, which then allows Chincotta to be the defence facade, and it allows Newman to do what he does. Pretty straightforward team for me, but I've gone in because I want a win, and I look at the issues that St Kilda have. Feel like stoppage is going to be a huge, huge part of it, and taking away their back line movement. So I feel that's a strong team. I will field questions from yourself, Let Dog. Wonderful chat.
I think it's a strong team as well. You'll see mine shortly. It's the same players, maybe with a few in different spots. Ashton Moyer, is he going to get the full game for you this week?
Yeah, Ashton Moyer comes straight in. Right? Jack Carroll, for me, can be the sub, because still to this day, I have no idea what Jack Carroll is. I'm still trying to work it out. So that's probably a good place to be a sub, really. So yeah, I've named it as my bench, and obviously it's a 5-man bench, but I've named it Moyer, Binns, Hewitt, Lord will be the rotations, and Carroll will be the sub. I just feel like when you look, there's no real contested work from St Kilda. They've got Steeler, and it's like they're inverse Cowan, aren't they? Their entire midfield is outsiders, 1 bull. Ours is all insiders and a bull. Do you know what I mean? So I figured let's try and spread them. And Ashton, I feel like last week he really showed, even though it was a short space of time, why Jack Martin is so important to the system, because of his ability to really hit that lead up and really give you something extra. And I personally, I'll stand by what I said in the draft. Jack Martin versus Ashton Moyer. Ashton Moyer is another level of good. When he hits his peak, you'll be like Jack Martin who. So I think that team's really strong, and I reckon that's the winning team.
Yeah, I think Moyer was good. We saw his ability to mark. I know he only had a couple of opportunities. We saw his ability to mark. Bit of mercurial magic in front of goal and missed that set shot, but I imagine that comes with time. Pom, there was a bit of a conspiracy. The Carlton injury list didn't include Hudson O'Keefe or Caleb Marchbank, but the official injury list on the AFL page has them as a test. If Caleb Marchbank passes his test, would you bring him in for McGovern?
Fuck no. What? No.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Honestly, for me, it's sailed. That ship has sailed. Some of you noticed. Sorry, Hewitt listed twice. Is Motlop. I was trying to mess about and get intricate, so I'll change that while we're talking. Motlop is on the bench because obviously we've lost Durden. I didn't like his game at the weekend, I've got to say, but I figured that you really do need that added small.
You've got to have someone, don't you?
Yeah, and I was toying with bringing Fantasia in, but I felt like that Walsh role was really tasty. Where he kind of did the Orazio role for patches around stoppage, which I think is Walsh's best work. Him being away from the stoppage and coming in late, I feel like that's where you're getting the best out of him. Other questions, would I rest Charlie? I would rest Charlie if it was something unlikely, like Collingwood have to win by 300 for us to make finals. But I just feel like we are in a situation where Charlie Curnow, West Coast Eagles is shit. St Kilda aren't shit. So I'll
take that gamble, right? They have to at least put one person and sit on him, even if he can't walk and he's standing in the goal square the whole game. You got to take that punt with him.
Yeah, Paul, who's the 7th batsman? I want to see more of what we did. So this week we saw Ollie Hollands line up at halfback to protect Binns when he marauded forward. So I think that's a natural rotation. So I really like that little matchup there. I think Ollie gets more of the ball, and I like Binns' aggression. So I think we look at it. And I looked at the players that could come in. Like, is Orazio Givens anything? Probably not. You mentioned Caleb Marchbank. I hate seeing that many tolls in the back line. Like, I've said it for years. I think it's so.
And the only other
immobile.
available players, Rob Monahan, he was the only AFL player, and Murkov, who played last week in the VFL, Lemmy and Donaku, and Billy Wilson. So the options are sparse. But I'm with you.
Well, for me, when I look at that back line, I don't think there's anyone I'd bring in that back line. Like, for me, I would say that's the 6th best defensive players and the best makeup, and then the 7th can be something exciting. So
and it might be Akers without McGovern in. They might go the taller wing as that defensive stopper a bit more than Hollands. But I'm with you. We've got the 2 guys who can kick out of defence in Newman and Saad. We've got Cowan who's a bit of a hybrid. He can either play tall or play small or play loose. We love Lockie Cowan, and we've got Chin Cotter, who's as hard as a cat's head. So I'm with you. And I liked Wiedering. I like the last few weeks. Admittedly, we've only had 1 win, but he's been pushing up the ground a lot more and being that sort of intercept marker a bit further up the ground. I think Young allows for that with a bit more safety because it's kind of a benefit. Young doesn't have the tank or the legs to actually move out of the defensive 50, so we don't tend to get caught out over the top when he's in the team and Wiedering's pushing up. So I like the makeup in defence.
Yeah, and like I say, people asking Membry, Matt, Membry for me, that's why I've moved Wheater in centre-half forward. Genuinely find when you watch Carlton, people target Mitch McGovern, and there's a reason they target him. Defensively, he's not that strong, right? He's not that strong. So I like the fact that our best defender is centre-half forward, centre-half back, because what you saw last week as well, no one ever gives any love to Lewis, but Lewis brings the ball down to the advantage of his smalls. And I was watching the replay the 3rd time. Cowan Chin Cotter got some real cheap ball off that. I wouldn't be allergic to switching Saad to where Cowan is and playing Saad as more of an attacking back pocket and having Cowan just being the big bomb out of the back half from halfback to take it to him. Because if you watch how they play, they really flood that 55 out with their tall players and leave a player deep. So I don't mind Young one-on-one in a natural one-on-one. Play Saad with him. Saad's going to get some cheap ball as well. So, yeah, that was my team.
Yeah.
I think I want to see Lord. I really want to see Lord. I'd love to. I have this vision. What some of the bodywork Lord did this week on Kelly went really underrated. I'd love to see Lord do some of that on Steele, because if you watched, some of you might have saw my review where I added some footage. If you watch how Carlton set up to put the block on, which was quite a lot, Cooper Lord putting the block on a runner just to let Cripps and Walsh get some easy ball and Elijah Hollands. I think that's the way forward for the Blues.
I like it, Pom. The only other statement I'd say regarding you putting Saad in a back pocket, I actually like that for having Cowan's kick out of defence, because we saw Mitch McGovern take on that dangerous kick. He switched it. He went corridor. I know you're not going to be able to do that necessarily against at the smaller stadium against a better team, but he took on those options and it gave us some flexibility. Cowan is, of the guys in that team, the next most likely to be able to pull that off. He's got a great kick on him, distance-wise, and he's not scared to make the tough decisions.
No, I agree, and I agree with bevtone. For me, spoiling is an important facet, and I was impressed. Just a vibe check on Lewis Young chat, and you, Let Dog. I really liked Lewis Young's game this weekend, particularly his effort to get rid of the ball quickly. That was something I talked about in VFL. He's worked heavy on in the VFL. I really noticed it in the seniors. He really did look to get rid of the ball quickly, give it off to someone who could use it. I was really impressed with his output.
Yeah, and if he does that, then he's a better prospect. The issue with him in the past has been how long it takes him to make a decision. And I know he gets reamed historically by fans for his one-on-one stuff, but to be honest, I don't think it's that bad. I think you're right. It's that decision-making and the speed of decision-making, which you can apply to a lot of players in our team that we need to work on. And I like it. I mean, I was thinking about it while you were talking that Wiedering, when we were really excited about Wiedering, it was when Liam Jones was sitting behind him, just jumping and spoiling everything. And Young doesn't have the same physical attributes as Liam Jones, but I mean, that's when, for me, Jacob Wiedering looked his best, is when he had that big dominant sort of aerial fisting presence behind him. And there's a world where Young could be that. And if it's not him, I do think Wiedering further up the ground is still the better structure.
Mate, I couldn't agree more. And I think the big thing about him as well that no one ever talks about is I hated when we used to have Liam Jones and Wiedering together. And the reason is they're the same fucking player. You could see the last year they played together, it was the same player. And it's something that I go on about the makeup of this side. There is way too many players playing a similar position that are almost copy and pasted of each other with a slight better than the other one on it. I like the fact Lewis Young is boring and miserable, spoils the ball. Like you said, Palazzo, brilliant. He's not a model. He don't play like a model. I like the fact he's old school, sits there, spoil punch, occasional mark, allowing Wiedering to do the sexy shit. I think that is the perfect model of how we play.
And it works if he's using the ball quickly and effectively. I think that's the other thing. I think that's probably the biggest question mark on Lewis Young, but he looked good.
Right, he did. And here is Lekdog's side. So Lekdog, I've just slated Fantasia.
That's
brought
fine.
him in.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So basically, I'm not taking risks with anyone that's a test except Charlie, because of the guys who are tests, I trust his ability to win a game off his own boot more than others. So Sard, he's a test. He's had a calf. They're calling it a calf. He's had some soft tissues of late. If there's any chance that he's going to get injured, I don't want him in the team. I want to maximize our players' ability on the field, and I think we can cover him. Now, I've moved Kemp back. To be honest, you could use Cowan in that position, keep Kemp forward. I don't really mind. That's fine. That's whatever. But for the sake of conversation, I've moved Kemp back, use Moya in that Kemp role from last week, use Curnow further up the ground. Gov comes out from injury. Durden, his shoulder fell out of his body. I know he's a test and they think he'll be fine. I'd rather not risk it. Again, if it's just going to be a simple knock and his shoulder comes out, we have to sub him again. I really think we're going to need available players throughout the rest of the whole game. And I'm with you on Motlop's performance. I'm a bit meh about Motlop of late, and that's why I've got Orazio in the team to, in theory, if Motlop's not firing, bring Orazio in the fourth quarter. I don't love it, but we're running out of bodies, and I wasn't willing to take the risk on the injury-prone guys in Sard. I hate to call him injury-prone, but of the recently injury-prone guys in Sard and McGovern, just not taking the risk. So Curnow comes in because he's more valuable than them in terms of winning a game, and Fantasia as the sub. I was really happy with all of our young guys, so I didn't feel any need to remove them. I know Kemp was awesome and kicked 4 goals, but I wanted to go with the 3 slightly taller players, maybe Kemp playing as a bit of an interceptor. I'm not sold either way. Like, you can convince me that that's the Cowan role. I'm absolutely fine with that as well. I'm happy to do a bit of swinging with Kemp. Again, it's very similar to your team. I just didn't want to bring Sard in, basically, is the difference.
Mate, I love it. I'm big Paul Hill, 5 gifted, my brother. We'll have to tee up some Fortnite this week. I'm feeling a little bit better. So if you've been given a membership by Paul, make sure you thank him. He is one of our boys. We love Paul. He's always here. I look at this team. My one thing with Kemp, right, is I know you said that you wanted the 3 taller players down the back and stuff. Do you think moving forward, like when you look at Kemp, like I know it's West Coast, so I want to specify this. I'm coming at this. I know it's West Coast. You don't have to tell me. I said it in my preview. West Coast is shit. I expect Carlton to win. Right? I expected Carlton to win. I might be one of the few who wasn't surprised. But when you watch Kemp, having covered his draft, Guy played forward after being a backman and he had a habit of kicking goals. Do you think that this really opens it up? Because when you look at Jack Silvani, they've never really understood what the fuck Jack Silvani is.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Brodie Kemp. He's better with the ball than Jack Silvani. He's got better mobility than Jack Silvani. He's quicker. And we know he's a backman and he's a forward. So a twofold question for you, chat, and you, Let Dog. Do you think there's merit next season moving Jack Silvani back to that role that we saw them flirt with in the VFL as a defender and pinch hitting in the ruck, right? So he takes Kemp's position and Kemp becomes a forward swingman, which would then allow Jesus to start in the back pocket like Kemp and just be a lockdown defender, because that's what I think they get wrong with Kemp, is they play him as a lockdown defender when he's McGovern.
Yeah, I don't think he's a lockdown defender.
Well, I think Jack could do the lockdown defending part like a ploughman, and then if you have it, Kemp can swing forward while Jack pinch hits in the ruck. Suddenly we cover all of our problems.
Look, I'm more interested in the flexibility of Brodie Kemp than worrying about Jack Silvani. His dad was very good at defending. I don't necessarily think he will. I've said it all the year this year that Jack wouldn't be in my best 22, and I don't think he'll be next year. I'm happy for him to play that role in the VFL bomb. Happy for him to play. I don't really give a shit. I just don't think he's going to be in the team much next year.
I wasn't saying he was in the best 22, but I think with Jack Silvani, I think if Kemp goes forward, he's surplus to requirements, because I think Ashton Moyer is ahead of him as the taller guy. I think Martin, if he stays or should he goes, he's just basically the stopgap. But I think there's merit of, we're probably going to lose Marchbank. We're definitely going to lose Sam Durden, of adding an extra down there. And when I saw him in the back line in the VFL, I just thought playing him centre-half back was suicide. When they played the next game, they played him as the third, as a defender. I was like, okay, I can cope with that. So I agree with Christian as well. I think Cowan should be given, in my opinion, I think Lockie Cowan should be given the Mitch McGovern job.
Well, I agree. I think Lockie Cowan long term is a really solid attacking defender that utilizes his kicking and his marking and his brain. I don't think he's a lockdown defender. I don't think Jack Silvani is a lockdown defender. I'd rather go and find one, to be honest. I don't know. I can't remember his contract situation. I'd rather find someone and turn him into that. Kemp, I'm open to. Kemp, I think we need to make a decision on Kemp, because the question over him his whole career has been, what is he? Because we've changed him every 3 weeks and never really let him develop in one role. He's developed this year as a defender and been panned for his defensive ability, so maybe that's not the answer. Maybe he is a forward. But we need to make that decision. And Carlton, I can't remember the last time we actually had a proper swingman that we actually swung. I feel like Geelong regularly have a swingman. I think GWS, it's been a while, but Himmelberg last year, he was a swingman. We really don't have that. I've always theorised that it would eventually become Tom De Koning. I know everyone hates it when I say that, but I'm open to Kemp. I think I just need to decide what that role is. And it is strange that we haven't been able to work out that third forward target when you've got Harry and Charlie in the forward line. Like, the fact that we still haven't worked out how to kick it to someone else for them to kick goals is bewildering to me.
Mate, you talk swingman, but as a 10-year married man who's been happily monogamous, I don't know much about swinging. But a man that lives the bachelor lifestyle, he's got the sexy beard, the sexy cat, the sexy background, the sexy dulcet tones, oozes sex appeal. Mr. Paolo Sebastiani, you're joining us at the right time. We're just talking about the future of Kemp. So I don't know if you heard it, but
yes,
I was swinging the idea. Do you think, because I agree with what Legdog says, it feels like Carlton have flirted with a swingman for like 7 years, and we've never quite... No, but he doesn't it, because we have the Whittaker going forward, and Bolton made the comment, we'd love to have that versatility. Levi Casbolt, Liam Jones,
Levi.
Jesus. Now,
I would say Levi and Jones weren't swingmen. They were failed forwards that we threw back out of desperation.
But
yes.
Mitch McGovern, it seems to be something that Carlton are looking at and never committed to, but it would make total sense if one of these players on the field could play both ends.
Completely agree. I hope you're both doing well. I hope everybody in the chat and tuning in are doing well today. It's an interesting one. It's amazing how when a crisis occurs with regards to injuries and players have to go to different positions based out of necessity, and then when they perform in that role, we get this light bulb moment in our head that says, oh, maybe we could potentially persist with that person in that particular role. And if we need to, they can go back to the other role that they were previously playing. And I think it also goes back to Michael Voss mentioning opportunity, that when opportunity arises for you to play a different position, that you take it. And I don't know if anybody's mentioned Ollie Hollands across half back, but he was there out of necessity. But I actually think he looked fantastic across the half-back line. I thought his ball use across half-back was good, and we know defensively his running is really strong, so it's something that he's been used to this season. So I don't know about the whole Jack Silvani down back. Maybe it could work, but I just think I think we have players on the list at the moment who are dour defenders, which is what I think Jack would be, that have played that role for longer, that would be better in that role. And I speak of Lewis Young as well, and he is contracted too. So I love Jack Silvani as a hit-up forward. I think he plays that role really well, and he's probably going to be in and out of the team. And look, I've seen Harry Mackay down back do the rounds over the last 24 hours. And I wanted to vomit. I really wanted to vomit. So anyway.
I want to give Dan Hoyne a shout out though, right? Because
he does great work. He's fantastic. No, I can't come into that. That's not.
No, I'm actually going to pull out of that. I think he's dog shit. But I will give him full respect because the data doesn't lie, right? Carlton do seem to score more goals consistently with one forward. And he's also correct. History does tell us 2-star forwards don't work. But you know what annoyed me about it? Don't skirt around it. Just say trade Harry. Like, that is the comment of where I listened to the whole passage and he's saying Carlton need to target a key defender. Carlton need to target an on-baller with pace. And I was like, then your out is play him at centre-half back so they don't trade. He's worth 3-4 firsts. What? There's your point of discussion if you're in the media to get people talking. Present an argument of why Carlton could trade him and how they could fix 5 holes in the list for one player. Like, don't just be a dickhead and go, play him centre-half back.
Yeah. That's what we're doing with Tom DeConning anyway when I'm in charge of the club. The other thing that I'll note, if you believe all the whispers, it seems like Nick Haynes is a very high likelihood to come to our club. I imagine if you're bringing in an intercepting, marking 31, 32-year-old to your club, it's probably not so he plays VFL every game. So they're definitely looking, I think, at the makeup of the back line, and that might speak to a Kemp forward
So intercept defenders, Pommy, and I'm yet to watch your the draft preview that you did today. So I would assume, just based on what I've seen in history, that intercept defenders in the draft, they're not a valued commodity. They are in the sense that they're valued in the AFL, but I think from a draft perspective and a pick perspective, you don't have to give up a lot for an intercept defender. It's like a defensive midfielder like Cooper Lord, something like that. So I don't think it's a spot that we have to move heaven and earth for. You can pinch it from somewhere else for a cheap cost, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the draft is quite interesting. Your Tom Stewart type players are really undervalued because everyone gets their dick hard for one-on-one defending. So the best defender we've got in the draft is Luke Traynor, and everyone's commenting on, as a side note, he's incredible at intercepting, but the focus is good one-on-one defender, good lockdown defender, kill it. But then when you go down the draft order, you could probably find one. Like, I personally think Carlton are in the privileged position down back that we've got the best interceptor money can buy in Whittaker in. He's a great ball user. We just need a big 200-centimetre door opener for the Adams family. Like, it could be anyone. Do you know what I mean? Anyone. If you're in the chat and you're 250 centimetres and you're fucking tough, make yourself known. That's all we need. Do you know what I mean? Just need a big fucker who can catch. That's why I said Jack Silvani, because I look at Nick Haynes and I like Nick Haynes, right? Yep. My issue is he's injured all the time, and how many backups do we need who are already injured? Where I think Jack, I don't think he's in the best 22 forward, and I don't think he's in the best 22 down back, but I do think his best chance is being that next cab off the rank. So I don't mind him learning that role down the back as well and add a string to his bow so he could play multiple positions.
It's a fine balance between the two, because you don't want to, one thing you don't want to take away from what he's already good at the moment, you know, which is that sort of half forward pinch hit ruck role. And you don't want to take away from that skill set to develop another skill set, which he might not be great at, you know. So I think it's a balance between the two. But I think he's in that mold on the list where it's probably worth the gamble, I would assume.
The good news is, Pom, sorry, just slightly changing topic, is that Keltoom is reporting Josh Rochelli's been dropped because he was making fun of the Port Adelaide crowd. So he'll request a trade to our club.
He's not been dropped because of that, has he?
Apparently he will not be in their team.
What is going on?
I love Josh Rochelli. They've actually
Pom, can you dig out his phone number from the draft preview again, mate? Because I think we need to get on the phone to him.
I would have given him a pay rise after what he did on the weekend.
Yeah, me too. I wonder if is it Matt Crouch getting fined for hitting the guy's hat off or whatever?
Yeah, I saw that.
He'll probably get dropped too.
You know what? Just quietly, when I was doing my preview, I did link Adelaide to some people purely because I think Rochelli's out of that club. And I didn't have any intel, just reading between the lines. His interview when he said he hadn't got a fucking clue what he's meant to be doing, that struck me as he wants out. That struck me as I want to come home.
I'd love a player like him we don't have players like that. It'd be beautiful for us. And we don't see. We don't get.
We should have had him. Who did we get instead?
Chera.
Yeah, I could have had him, but you guys. You guys were all desperate for an Italian at the football club, forgetting that Lygon Street has fucking cannellinis.
Josh Rochelli, mate. What's Rochelli?
Mate, it's just Rachel. It's just Rachel spelt wrong. Quick one for Paolo and Leckdog. Now, I've been looking at targets. Lee Kalia from Lou.
Mate, his name's pronounced Leck, so yes, we should get him.
No, but I'm a big fan of this. I don't think we do this enough because I can see Indiana. Great question, Dan Houston. I'm of the school we should be doing a Geelong right now, trying to find a guy that's got 3 or 4 years development, who's slightly on the precipice of the team, and us saying, okay, you've got Himmelberg, he's world class, you've got depth, we're going to fucking turn him into a star. I reckon Lekalia, players like that are cheap.
Yeah. That's a great shout. Geelong don't develop their own talent, but I'm saying that kind of sarcastically. But yeah, I love it. If I was a list manager, I would basically only trade for like guys who are 23 years old and just like say thanks for doing the hard work for me.
Yeah, like Blake Acres, like another man's try. Like you see, because I know people are going to say Barras and Battle, but they're 900, 800K. Like. Get the guy 300, 400K. Do you know what I mean? Kenyan national, and back it in, and be like, okay, cool. This guy, we're going to give you the opportunity of a lifetime to play for the Carlton Blues because we're in that position now.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's a great shout. Whoever suggested that, great shout.
Lou, I'm with Lou because I want him on Bolter.
Yes, I saw some people talking about Bolter in the chat as well. I thought you'd be excited.
Mate, did Paul just log out?
I think Paul's disappeared.
Okay,
we
well,
can
we'll take
vamp
you
for
through
him.
Paul's team while he comes in. So Paul went bold, and he has the biggest cojones of us all. He did drop Motlop.
Wow, and Moya.
That's stiff.
That is stiff for Moya. I'm assuming that means he's got Kemba forward still.
Yeah, centre half. Don't mind that centre half forward from old Paul Dog. Don't mind
Z,
it, but
Will, Kemp, Lage. It's solid. It's very good.
Well, wait for him to come back because he's coming back. Would you Domaku?
So this is an interesting one, right? So the new rules, I believe, for rookies kick in this year, not next year, which means you can rookie list a guy for 5 years. So the question is, do you think 2 years more development of him turns him into a football player? I haven't seen enough to say yes. Pom, you probably got a bit more insight. I'm not suggesting he's awful. He's come a long way from where he was, but it's just, is 2 more years for him gonna help?
You know the thing that, what's really annoying about Domaku is he fucking annoys me because he kind of shows it in glimpses. Like there was these little moments. Like last week is a great example. He takes an intercept mark, takes the contact handballs, breaks the line, and suddenly he's gone. And you're like, fucking hell, this is why you're here, because you're 9'8" and fast. But then 10 minutes later, he's pissing about and looking like he's freaking Levi Casbolt, like trying to body players, and it's not your strength. So it's a real annoying thing because I think you're going to have to re-sign him as a rookie because it's off the salary cap. It's game over, right? It's game over in that terms. Like, it doesn't really matter. But, like, is he deserving of it? And in my honest opinion, I don't think he is. But I think counting on a situation, they're going to lose 3 key defenders.
Yeah.
And Nick Haynes is going to come in, but he's going to be injured by round 2 till round 12.
Yeah.
But I guarantee that.
We're going to be short on a fucking key tall again. It's going to happen.
Yeah. So
what's the downside? What's the downside to extending him?
But what I mean is though, like spot on. He's a rookie. You ain't going to find a rookie who's got 2-3 years AFL experience in his boots. So you might as well hope it works. But my message to Dom, and I love him because he's one of the nicest kids I've ever met. Like, is, mate, just remember you got this contract because you're different to the others. Remember that when you're playing.
Yeah, use it. Use it.
Stewson, J Sauce is the same height as Aaliyah and Bolton. Fuck Jesus. Stewson, I love you because you're
Danny DeVito's the same height as my girlfriend, and I don't want to have sex with Danny DeVito.
But I'd rather Danny DeVito play the fucking Penguin. I was going to say a Datsun and a fucking Lamborghini are both cars, but I know which one I'd rather own. Do you know what I mean?
We don't even know if J Sauce's fucking legs work at this point. I haven't seen the sign of life in quite some time. Might be a David Cunningham situation.
Danny DeVito and my missus are the same height.
Pom,
you know what? I wanted to do. If you were anyone else, I would have made "I know who I'd rather bang" joke or something like that.
I left it open for you.
Can I just say that's how much respect I have for you, like dog. Do you know what I mean? It's how much love I have for you. But let's do Paul's team because I have no idea where he is. So, I mean, chat. What do we think? Because I look at this and Ashton Moyer. Obviously, he came on for a quarter. Is Ashton Moyer someone that we think could be St Kilda? Is that like a key avenue that we need?
Because I liked his strong mark. I like his strong marking up the ground. I know when they saw a couple of signs of it. My concern would be less about what is he bringing to the table and more about are we trusting Corey Durden and Orazio Fantasia to play out the game as forward line options. I struggle to see that as a yes. So for that's partially why I considered Moya kept Moya in my team. Does Charlie coming back impact it? Is him, Moya, and Kemp and Kennedy too much? I don't know. Good. There'll be no wind or bad conditions. Like, it seems like a good opportunity for him to mark and push up the ground.
I'm with you, Matt. I think he's a point of difference as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm guessing you mean point of difference because POV.
That's something else. That's something else.
Hey, that's porn with a GoPro, mate, to me. But
when you walk in, I'm in my VR headset.
Look at me fucking about being Paul. Paul, we've gone through your team, so we're just trying to work out Ashton Moya. So talk us through it, Paul. Paul's back.
All right. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. We had I've had to change studios. We had a bit of a problem with the cameras. So, what's going on with cameras this week? Last week. Hold on, let me make sure are we okay? We're all live.
It's probably they're rebelling because I punched one a week ago.
It's rising up.
The revolution of the cameras. So I'm on, as you can see here, in Charlie, in Fantasia, and in Sard, and McGovern will miss with that hamstring. Motlop out and Moya out. So Charlie will replace Moya, and Binns will become the sub in replacement of Moya. And I've gone for Orazio over Motlop. Motlop hasn't been was he disappointing on the weekend, or am I just going mad?
No, he was.
Did you feel like me, Paul, as well? When Durden went off, I was kind of excited because I thought, right, this is Motlop's chance to bring that energy, and I thought Motlop got fucking worse.
Yeah, he I don't know what is it? Maybe the injury interrupted season. Maybe I'm not too sure, but he was. I'm
telling you, it's the hair. Serious. People think I'm taking the piss. You bleach your hair before you've kicked 35 goals. Fuck off.
Let me tell you. Hey, I when Saka did that before Christmas last season, he got rid of it. And then they went to Dubai, and then he couldn't stop scoring. So I reckon Motlop needs to get the number 0 shaver out. That's what he needs to do. I think I'd like to see Orazio in.
He was my sub, Paul. I know you weren't here. I bought him as my sub.
Yeah. And I wouldn't mind seeing Binzi as the sub because I thought, look, he was Pommy and I think, would have had some telepathy between each other in the first half in our minds saying, see, this is why he was playing VFL. He's not good at the contest.
That first contest was worrying.
Goodness gracious me. Not
but
great.
Credit to him. He did build into the game after that.
He worked into the game and he finished his goal nicely, which that's him. That's him. I think
we have to give Voss a shout out, moving Ollie Hollands behind him, which then allowed him to be that really dynamic player. Like, I know Voss cops a lot of hate. I thought that in-game change, moving Elijah to the wing, Ollie to half-back to protect him, and then you suddenly saw how good Binns was. Shrewd coaching. Yep.
No, I agree with that. So one change based on form with regards to Fantasia in for Motlop. Charlie is obviously going to play over Ashton Moya, given, or maybe he won't. Maybe he won't. But if Charlie's fit, he'll come in for Ashton Moya. And I've got Sard in for Gov because I don't think St Kilda's forward line is too tall. I think Caminiti, I don't think will play from reports. And they have no King. And Membry, I think, can be handled by Young and Wiedering, I think is the case. So I think we'll be okay.
So it'll be Memory and Sharman, will it? And Charlie will know how many goals he needs to kick to win the Coleman by then. It'll be 10 or 12 probably.
If Wiedering can't handle those two, I think we're struggling. Really struggling.
Yes. Yeah, I actually really like you for Sharman, but if he gets a touch on Wiedering, we're in trouble.
No, I agree. So I think there's enough there. And Marchbank he will not play this week. He's not available.
Do you know what happened? He was listed. So we said he was unavailable. Him and Hudson O'Keefe, and then the AFL website has him as a test. Is that just wrong?
No, it's right. Yeah, he's got. I've been, and again, don't want to spread rumors or anything like that. I'm not doing that, but I think there are a few other issues at play there as well. I don't know if they're physical. I'm not 100% sure, but
Sure.
Yeah. So the people are asking about Durden as well. Durden, Williams, Sard, Charlie, all look like they are likely to play this weekend. McGovern is the only one in real doubt for Sunday's game. So that's the update there from what I've been told by my
the scoop.
Yeah.
Did you
see,
Paul? I'd love to know how you saw it, because I love the fact you got Durds in there, and I'd love to hear Chat's opinion as well.
Yeah.
Were you super impressed that Durden's probably, in my opinion, at the start of the year, been the most disappointing player on the list?
Yes.
How he came out and really started with that. And he was probably the first in that first quarter where I thought we looked woeful, who was like, hang about, Wick Out and Football Club. Let's fucking hit these boys hard. I really like that from Durds.
He was zipping about everywhere. And I think this is what we wanted from him. And you know how we talk about our small forwards getting up the ground and we kind of get frustrated by it to a certain point. But he was working up the ground, and how sticky were his hands? He didn't drop anything.
At his best, that's what he does. He pushes
and he was
up the ground.
Very, very, very influential. Very influential. I personally thought it was his best game for the club. Just a shame with what happened to his shoulder. But this, I mean, people complain about, don't criticize and don't say this, and they've got families, and heck, what he produced on Sunday compared to what he produced in the first half of the season is why we all get frustrated, because you see what he and the group are capable of, right?
Yep.
And he was just locked in. Maybe he just needed a bit of a stint in the reserves and away from football, AFL, the senior side, for a little while. Then there is a reason they have signed him to that 2-year contract. They obviously see something in him, and they like what they see on the training track, and they like what they see at AFL level, and they like what they see at VFL level. So, look, all the power to him. We know if this was postseason, he'd definitely be getting surgery, and he will be getting surgery postseason. But I'm really happy to have him in based on form. And the one who's disappointed me is Jesse Motlob.
Yep.
He comes out for me. Orazio plays. I'm sorry, he plays if he's fit.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? I was listening to Monday Blues this weekend, and Andy made a great call about Harley Reid, right? He basically said Harley Reid plays on the edge, and he's probably going to cost himself medals because he plays on that edge. You know, that edge where what we're talking about is, are you moralistically okay? Like, he pushes the boundary, doesn't he? You watch every tackle, every bump, he looked like he wanted to punch a twat. You could see he was up. And especially when we started, I thought the third quarter turned me on from Harley because he knew the game was gone, but his mindset was fucking hurt Carlton. Was like, hurt them. I ain't losing today. Do you feel Durden? I felt like, honestly, not going mental here, I thought 90% of Carlton's performance was down to Durden, Ollie, Binns, because Binns went to tackle Harley Reid and got ragdolled in the first quarter. But I think that mindset of, I'm not going to be pushed around, we did look like we were up for it. Do you feel like we need... I would take Durden in this team because I feel like we need someone who plays on the edge because that makes us play our pressure game. Because pressure game that Boss wants has a bit of hate and anger in it.
Yeah, that's always been part of his game. Since he first got to the club, he tackles with intent, and it was something Terry and I continually spoke about and all of us spoke about when he first came to the club. And that's what we didn't see that in the first half of the season. So
no.
more of that from him. That's all the mindset, you know, and we were saying too last year that if he plays with that mindset and he plays with that intent, the numbers will eventually start to tick over. And they did on the weekend. Look, granted, it was weak opposition, but you got to start somewhere.
Agree.
Mate, look, look, as I always say, look, right, in a bar in the north of England, if you knock someone out with glasses, but he spilt your beer and he didn't offer to buy you a new one, you're not really a bully. A man's got to do what, mate. You've got to set a fucking standard, mate.
I agree. So, is everybody? I mean, are people upset if Orazio gets a gig? Is that?
I think bevtone is, but I think that's about it.
Okay.
Are we undefeated with Razio?
Close to it. We've got a pretty decent record with him. I just think his form in the team was better. He kicked 4 goals. I know, again, against Richmond, I understand, but prior to going out, he'd actually been starting to work his way back into some decent form. Anyway,
to be fair, against St Kilda,
I had him in my team, so I support it.
I didn't, caveat.
After panning him for the last 23 weeks.
Yeah, okay. You can change your opinion. It's okay.
Oh, I don't know if I've changed it, but he's in my team.
No. To be honest, though, the more I think of it, the more I would I did want to drop Motlop.
I was too scared,
but I didn't. But if I knew we were all picking Raz, I would have dropped him.
You did know. We send you our teams.
Yeah, you do actually. But I'm not a turncoat. I am a man of reason. But this is the St Kilda task, boys and girls.
God, these numbers are alarming. Jeez.
This is Carlton's biggest task since Sydney, statistically. That's how bad we've got in the last 6 weeks. That this St Kilda team, from a statistical point of view, is the biggest ask since Sydney. So think about that. Of all the teams we've played, we are outclassed here.
Yep. Carlton by 45.
No, but this is literally saying that if the boys ever wanted to look at something and go, if we go back, this is what it's telling you. This is saying it's really one-sided.
If this can't motivate him, who can?
St Kilda's form is actually, it's up and down, but it's not been that bad over the last 6, 7, 8 weeks in terms of results.
St Kilda is in form at the moment, and they are the embodiment of what I called them last season, Roadblock FC. Mm-hmm. Any win in the last month has absolutely no bearing on what their season is going to be come final day this weekend. But all they will do is block the roads of teams who are vying for finals and teams who are vying for the top 4. Our producer and video producer extraordinaire, Alex Pato, is in the studio with me here. He's a big Geelong supporter, and he bore witness to Roadblock FC last weekend. They are of no use to themselves. They are only of use to making it a pain in the ass for opposition. That's what they are. And they'll be they hate us, mate. St Kilda hates us.
You know what? St Kilda are the sporting equivalent of, when your mate fancies a girl in year 11?
Yes.
And the only way you can get a date is if her best friend goes out with one of her mates.
Oh, right, okay.
That date when you're technically just there to distract you, the person your mate fancies best friend. St Kilda are that fucking football team. They should be called St Third fucking Wheel.
They're just there to fuck things up. I have a hatred for St Kilda.
Roadblock FC. With all due respect, Roadblock FC, period. What does a roadblock do? A roadblock does nothing for itself.
Just gets in the way of everything else.
It just gets in the, that's what they are. I'm telling you, mate. That's what they are.
Yeah, you know what? St Kilda are breakdancing at the Olympics. What the fucking what's the fucking point of that, eh? Do you know what I mean? What is the point of that? But here we go. Let's pick this team. So, Lek, I'll start with you. We need a backman. Who are you backing?
I'm backing Lockie Cowan, and you can put him wherever you want. I fucking love Lockie Cowan.
Mate, I'm still enjoying the fact that you compared your missus to Danny DeVito.
I did actually. I should retract something. I called her my girlfriend. She's actually my fiance.
You know what? He's called her Danny DeVito.
So he's more worried about calling her a girlfriend rather than Danny DeVito. Oh, dearie me. Leg dog.
Tell you what, Leg Dog's going to be chairman of Couch FC after this show.
I don't think she's watching. I think she's given up on supporting.
Have you got a dog? Leg dog?
I've got 2 dogs.
Okay, yeah, you might be in the kennel with them tonight. This right?
Paul Backman.
Yeah. Let's save Lewis Young. I can't believe I'm saying it. Rob Holding, he is. He's Rob Holding.
Mate, he has a bit of Gabrielle about him, I think.
Who? Lewis Young?
Yeah.
Gabrielle plays a whole season. Youngie can.
No, but I know you're going to be. I know you're going to deny it as an Arsenal fan, but as an opposition fan, I watch Gabrielle play, and I'm like absolutely fucking bobbins. But I'll tell you what, he surprises me every time I watch him play. Like I'm like, he's pretty good. So I think that could be Young. I'll save Whittaker in because I like the chat. Chat, you've got 3 names to save. You've got Akers, Binns, Carroll, Chincotta, Cripps, Kerno, Durden, Elijah, Fantasia, Hewitt, Hollins, Kemp, Kennedy, Lord, Moore. Who the fuck's he? Ashton Moyer, Matlock, Newman, Owies, Pitternet, Sard, Walsh, Williams. These are backmen. Harry Sutter 2.0. Hey,
That's good. I like that.
So remember, you're doing backman chat. So
I think they know they're doing backman. I think they're fucking with us.
Yeah, backman. So Newman. So give me 3 names, 3 backmen. You've got halfback, 2 halfback flankers, and a back pocket. So
who was your favourite James Bond, by the way, Pommy? You said Moore before, Roger Moore. Who was? It's got to be Shaun, doesn't it?
Yeah, Shaun probably.
Yeah, it's got to be Shaun. It has to be Shaun.
I'd say Shaun 1, 2, 2 more, 3. I'm a big fan of Daniel Craig.
See, you're exactly like that's my 1, 2, 3. That is my 1, 2, 3.
I did like Danny Craig. I'll tell you what, chat throwing in Ollie here at halfback.
Oh,
I like this. This is good.
Oh, chat. Oh, chat, you turn me on when you get like this, chat.
I like it.
You know, George Lane's bevtone, I love you. You're one of my faves, but I just can't do a non-English James Bond.
No, it's a sin. It is an absolute sin.
Newman and Ollie at halfback. So it's just between Sad and Pomcotta from the looks of it.
Yep.
I think Pomcotta's got it.
Wasn't Pomcotta good on the weekend? Ground ball gets and his drive and his... Yeah, he was really good on the weekend. Really liked him.
I thought he was underrated. We gave him a huge rap in... we gave him a huge rap in the rating show. I thought he was absolutely sensational.
Yeah, he was super, mate. He was super.
You
know, our ground ball gets, we had 103 on the weekend. Is that, I reckon is that a season high? It'd have to be, wouldn't it?
The season high, yeah, because that's been like, we have been absolutely bobbins.
Yeah.
You know what? Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan, they look like James Bond. Like,
Pierce Brosnan
in my
looks like
mind,
James Bond to me. Yeah.
In my mind, they look like James Bond, but it's just the acting doesn't work. But Pierce Brosnan, if you mix Pierce Brosnan with Daniel Craig, and Daniel Craig looked like Pierce Brosnan, perfect James Bond. Yeah. Turns me on. Good right, call. Midfielders, get ready, chat. Midfielders. Why isn't chat? You're the biggest part of selection table, Bluebagger. Like, otherwise, I'm just talking to myself and I'm going back to the home on them tablets.
Why isn't chat on the selection table? What do you mean? What's
I don't know what they're talking about.
What's Bluebagger on about?
Mr. Leck, I need a midfielder, bruv. And a ruckman.
Mate, no, Chuck, if we've got Hollins at halfback, put Binns on the wing to start for me, would you?
Oh, look at that right-hand side. I haven't seen a right-hand side since 99 United as good. Look, you've got Gary Neville, Beckham, and you've got Dwight York coming off the right. Oh, God. Paul, before I get excited.
We'll save the ex-Sainer on the other wing, Blake Acres.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You know what? I'm going rogue. Ollie Lord on the ball.
I'm applauding. That's genius. That is
Mate.
genius.
mate. On the
Hey,
news.
you don't buy Ollie Lords in packets, mate. Sorry, Ollie, I've done it too now. God, you don't buy Cooper Lords in packets, do you?
Do you know what I mean? Hey, look, Says, you see, look, we aim to please here. We aim to please. But I need a centreman, a ruckman, and if we're in the 1975s, we need a ruck rover. So we need 3 midfielders, chat. These are your names I want. So I want 3 names in chat consisting of Jack Carroll, Patrick Cripps, Charlie Kerner, Corey Durden, Lidge Hollands, Fantasia, Hewitt, Kemp, Kennedy, Moya, Motlop, Owies, Pitonet, Sard, Walsh, Williams. Congratulations to Pitonet as well this week because he didn't get dropped by anyone.
No, it's because he played well again.
You know why? Because he went back to just having a fucking red dot as his heat map.
He was up against.
Yes.
Williams not much choppers.
No,
but he's got a big task ahead of him this week.
He does. One of the best in the comp.
Is he in your super coach, Rowan Marshall, Lekdog?
No, my ruckman all year have been Brodie Grundy and Tristan Cherry. And I think Cherry's now the highest scoring ruckman for the year.
Is he really?
So, he's been fucking massive.
Well, Cripps and Pitt are safe.
One more.
I think it's Hewitt.
Has to be Hewitt. Walsh?
Hey, you know what? 3 weeks in a row, Walsh hasn't been named on the starting.
He's been a bit down, hasn't he? He's clearly carrying something. There's no doubt about that.
I'm telling you, this is how we should pick the team, because chat knows. Chat knows. Like, they're sending a message. Walsh will be watching this now and seeing that, again, he's not in the first 18. Improved.
Yeah. Used to be the first name on the bit of paper, mate.
Mate, chat know. Right, we're at forwards where the magic happens. Lekdog, I need a forward.
The spice of life, this forward line. We've got a lot to choose from. I am...
that one, spice of life. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go... Have we put Lige in yet? Can we start him on the half forward flank?
You are a selector, Lekdog. Like, you can do whatever you want, which I feel like is probably the most dangerous thing to say to Carlton selectors in the selection panel. Paul?
I am going to save Orazio.
Hey! Fanta!
I don't know why I love it this week, but I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, mate, I like it. Right, who am I saving? You know what? I'm doing it.
Oh,
Brodie Kemp.
Yep.
Centre half forward.
You notice he's got that craft. He's always had the attack on the ball in the air, which is something that Youngie doesn't. He doesn't have that run and jump and leap at the footy, whereas Kempy's got it. And you saw it on the weekend.
You know what's weird though is I was like we were chatting in the ratings. I loved him forward in the VFL, right?
Yes, but they canned it. They just canned it.
And he averaged 4 goals.
Yep.
Right? He had 8 goals in 3 games. So what's that? 2 and a bit goals? And then they shelved it. I don't get it. Chat, 3 forwards. Carroll, Kerno, Durden, Kennedy, Moya, Motlop, Owies, Sard, Walsh, and Williams. So do that. I don't know why it is calibrated.
You copy and pasted it into the chat.
I don't know why he's created the actual separators, though. He should have... Okay. YouTube, you do what you want, bro.
Whoa.
Always
Walsh on the forward flank.
Walsh flank. Hey, tell you what, if only I had a penny for every time someone called me something named after flank.
The bank.
Fucking, tell you what, chat, the fact that Ashton and Walsh and Owies are beating Charlie here is amazing.
I think maybe
all right.
Charlie's not fit. Is that why?
It's evening out. It's evening out.
Charlie is a huge chance to play on Sunday, and he probably will.
So it looks like Charlie and Owies are definitely in.
Yep.
Lekdog,
So.
is it Moya?
Well, bevtone, I think, has just pushed it over to Moya. So, yeah.
Look at that forward line, legit.
My God.
Like, even with the injuries, look, Ashton, Moyer, Elijah, Kemp, Kerner, Fantasia, Owis, that is still winning games.
Never seen that. Oh, if someone had told me in round 24 that this was going to be your forward line against St Kilda, I would have sent you in for psychiatric assessment.
Yes.
I would have come in and hold your hand with you as well.
No, but look, there's still game-changing ability there.
Yeah. No, I agree. But
Well,
if someone had
30 goals there, 60 if he played a full year. I like that.
Bang.
I mean, I could be high. Mrs.
Well,
Pons,
look, I'll say this. The other team won't be preparing for those matchups, so we're already one step ahead.
No.
Well, we'll do the interchange. Like, I need an interchanger from Carroll, Durden, Kennedy, Motlop, and Sard, Walsh, and Williams.
I'll throw poor old Sam Walsh, underrated, underrespected by the chat. I'll throw him a lifeline, give him a spot on the bench.
We've given him the Rodney Dangerfield. I don't get no respect around here. No respect.
Oh dear! I mean, you know what though? What excites me though is people see it. We've now built a culture where we can say Sam Walsh isn't where he should be, and no one's going extreme and going, "Oh my god!" Except you've said trade Walsh. Like it's literally, it's called selection integrity.
Yes, Gavin's not happy. He hasn't
Gav, sorry. As I was doing that and complimenting everyone, Gav's like, "Get fucked, Pom." Rate it, Paul.
We are going to save Matt Kennedy.
You know what? The fact this is our bench.
Good.
Fuck me. You've got no bad combos. I'm saving Z, Will.
It's all Andrew Russell's fault.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You know what, though? It would be the easiest gig in the world to become Carlton's new fitness guy because we're probably going to delist 5 of the guys who are on every time.
It's the best, mate. I'll put my hand up.
Okay, yeah, like honestly, like I could fucking go in there, smoke darts, and drink VBs, and just say, "Tried fucking running it off, Charlie." Cheers, mate. And everyone's gonna be like, "Fucking hell, this Pom's good. We only got 3 injuries." I mean, it's quick money, right? Chat 2 names,
tough
4 players, right? Carroll, Durden, Motlop, Sard. I actually reckon I'd be the best fitness director in the world. Could you imagine me just on the training track, smoking some holiday blues, VB in hand? Got out. Fucking run more, Charlie! You're fucking lazy!
A bit of a Harry Redknapp.
Got out. Motlop! Jesse! Get us another beer, lad! Make it quick!
You ain't at it goals and we'll end up over here. There's the fucking brains in here.
Fucking Rob Monaghan shanks one in the car park. No wonder he's in the fucking reserves. I think they'd love it. I'd fix him.
Good old Harry. How good's Harry Redknapp? Oh, God.
Hey, mate. You know what? I reckon, Carroll. Ooh, I reckon you've saved. I reckon it's Carroll and Dirds. Right?
Okay.
Sard and Paul?
No, I think it's probably Sard and Dirds, to be honest.
I think it is. It looks like Carroll's getting a run.
I'm trying. It's hard to count. They've all got one combination of the other.
Sard's definitely saved. Sard is definitely saved.
Yeah.
Or could be Carroll here.
Oh, Carroll! I was but
I think it's Sard. I'm just counting. And I can't split Carroll and Durden.
Sard's in there. Yep, Sard's in there now. We need one more. Carroll.
Bevtone's gone Carroll. Bevtone's made the call.
Love it.
This is the team that gets us into Lockadoodle-Doo finals. Alex Chincotta, Lewis Young, Alex, Lockie Cowan, Ollie Hollins, Jacob Whittaker, Nick Newman, Jackson Binns, Patrick Cripps, Blake Akers, Elijah Hollins, Brodie Kemp, Ashton Moyer, Owis, Kerner, Fantasia, Pitternet, Lord, Hewitt, Walsh, Kennedy, Williams, Sard, Carroll. If you look at it from the bench, you wouldn't believe we have any injuries, which makes it better.
So it's out Durden, Motlop, in Charlie, and Orazio.
Love it.
You know what? The fact we've made a selection statement, chat, when there is only Rob Monaghan fit. Like, honestly, that turns like chat. I'm telling you, we could coach this team between us. Like, if we just did this, we'd coach them better. What a fucking statement to make! That's a statement. I love that.
Must-win game. Unfortunately, Jesse Motlop then requests a trade next week. But other than that, it's fine.
Loads of people were PMing me because I dropped Motlop last week. That evidently that would mean that he'd request a trade, and people didn't like my answer of "fuck him." Like, I love to do the exit meetings. I was really unhappy you dropped me palm round 13. I'd be like, don't care. Didn't ask. Didn't ask. See you, mate. Enjoy South Australia. Right, Mr. Leckdog, you've got a new office. You're now fit and healthy.
I'm getting there.
You're back with me, right?
Yes.
You're back with me, so life is good.
Life's good.
Surely you've uploaded a fucking video.
I have uploaded a video.
So, Leckdog, tell us what you're doing this week.
Well, I uploaded a video. I did a Code Sports article at the start of the week, how to win your Supercoach Draft Grand Final players to look at.
Code or cone?
I did. What's that? Code. Code.
You said code.
Code. Well, that's a subscription tier on my OnlyFans.
Fantasy podcast on sports.
And I uploaded a vlog, a hobby vlog, which has sort of a summary of what my life's been over the last couple of months. Told some stories about my trip away, talked about little nerd things, painting models, and all the things I enjoy. So that's really it. I'll be going to the game on Sunday.
I will see you there, Leckdog.
Yes, you will.
Mate, we're loving it. Paul, what are you doing this week?
We have got, over the weekend, Premier League preview show. You and Jimmy Faz are going to be joining me on SEN, which is going to be a lot of fun. We have the Jumper Punch on Tuesday. We have the Jumper Punch stage show next Saturday night, 31st of August. If you haven't got your tickets, be sure to get them. Trybooking.com is where you can purchase tickets. You're going to be there with Mrs. Pommy. Tez is going to be there. Heath Scotland, Simon Wiggins are our special guests for the night. They're going to be there all night. We're going to have dinner, drinks, dessert. It's going to be a big get together, regardless of whether we win on Sunday or not. It's going to be a fantastic night. So get your tickets.
You come in.
When is it?
31st of August, Saturday night, next weekend.
I am away, but I appreciate the offer from you.
You'll be there in spirit, my friend.
I'll be there in spirit.
So trybooking.com is where you can find your tickets. Untitled Blues Pod. We just released our newest episode today. And then we'll be back again next week. So it's going to be a busy weekend. And looking forward to the Premier League preview show with yourself, Tommy. So a lot of fun, mate. What's on with you, mate? What's happening? Talk to us, mate.
I'm looking forward to it because we can talk about United making a title charge at the end of the season. I'll put the links in there for the JP stuff. Go and head over to that. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. So there's a draft thing up at the moment, so go and check that out. Tomorrow there'll be a preview coming up. You've been all asking about an EPL show. That should return this week, but I've got something even better for you. I don't know if Faz is in the chat, but we're going to go live on Saturday at 9:30, Brighton versus United. So I don't often live stream soccer games because I'd probably get cancelled. But I do feel now I am at a popularity where I'm powerful enough to negate that. So we'll see if that's the truth and if this is back. But no, me and hopefully Mr. Faz will join me for that. Usual preview will be up there tomorrow and all the other stuff. And Terry will probably rope me into something. Stay tuned next week because I'm hosting Footy Abroad and it could go one of two ways. Either it'll be me bullying Jake because he's got to do it in a Carlton top, or I will have my face painted as a St Kilda fan.
Oh boy.
Can only go one or two ways. So I'm looking forward to that. But everyone, thank you very much. Thank you for your shout out to Paul who donated the memberships. Look after yourself, brothers and sisters, and we'll see you next week for the finals version. See you guys.
Hey guys. Bye bye.